Did you guys know that in Jesus' time, there were no sidewalks? There were no paved roads? And also, they oftentimes didn't wear any shoes. They didn't have any, or if they did have shoes, it was just sandals. So they were just walking on dirt all day long and whatever else people threw out there, probably some garbage, maybe some like horse and donkey poop. So they were walking in this all day long. So, for demonstration, this is just dirt, I promise, Timmy. But would you please stick your feet in this dirt? Nice and dirty feet there. All right, bud, go ahead and have a seat up here on stage. So why in the world is Jesus, the creator of the universe, washing stinky, sweaty, nasty feet? Do you think that he just really likes touching stinky, sweaty, smelly, nasty feet? Probably not. You think so? You thought he did?
No.
Oh, no. Do you think when Jesus heard from God that this was the plan for the night before he died, do you think he was like, yes, I can't wait to wash all these feet? Do you think he was pumped about it? Probably not. But Jesus chose to wash all of the disciples' feet to give us an example of serving other people. Jesus didn't want to wash the feet, probably. I don't think it was like his favorite thing to do, but he did it. He put aside his own wants. He put aside his own preferences. Thank you. He was God. He was literally the most important person in the universe. And he put that aside and chose to wash stinky, dirty, sweaty, nasty feet to give us an example of how to serve other people around us. Hey, thanks, Timmy. There's a towel back there if you want, or you can just put your shoes back on. Jesus gave us an example that night of putting aside what we want and what we need and helping other people. He wanted us to serve other people by putting aside what we want and need and helping someone else. Can anyone think of another example of how we serve by putting aside what we want and doing something to help people? Are there any other ideas for how we do that? You can just raise your hand. Yes.
Like how to serve people?
Yeah. How do we serve people?
Well, you can like volunteer to work at a restaurant and you can like serve people food.
You could volunteer to serve people food. There are places where people go to get food if they don't have any. You could volunteer to work there. Any other ideas? Anyone over here? How could you serve? You're not worried about what you want. You're helping other people. Any ideas? What about you, Olivia? Do you have any ideas? Go to war? Yeah? People who serve in our armed forces definitely are servants. So the point is, guys, that Jesus tells us there are a few ways in the Bible that we can shine his light to the world. Did you raise your hand if you knew? Raise your hand if you knew that when you asked Jesus to be in your life, he put a light inside of you. What? Did you know there's a light inside of you that Jesus put there? It's not like a candle or a flashlight, but there's a light inside of you from Jesus, and he wants us to shine that to the world. And one way that he says we can shine his light is by serving people. That's why he washed the disciples' feet, to give us an example. Can anyone think of another way that we're supposed to shine our light for Jesus? How do we tell people who Jesus is? Any other ideas? We gotta get some ideas, guys. It's just wind in the mic. How do we show who Jesus is? Any ideas? We can serve people. What else can we do? Tell your friends about Jesus. Do you think that's a way to spread Jesus' light in the world? Okay, there's one more I'm looking for. We can serve people. We can share with them. Yes. Help them. If we help people, what are we doing for them? What emotion are we showing them? It starts with an L. Love. Okay, we got there. So we can serve people and we can love them. Do you think it's pretty easy to love?
Yeah.
No, yes. We would think it. Some people are saying no, some people are saying yes. We would think it would be pretty easy, right? Raise your hand if you love your family. Good, down. Raise your hand if you love your friends. Oh, so much love. Hands down. Raise your hand if you love VBS. That's a good one. Oh, so many hands. Good. Down. Raise your hand if you love your dog. If you love school. If you love your phone. If you love TV. Guys, we love so many things. We love so many people. It feels like it should be easy to love the way Jesus wants us to. But it's not always that easy. Sometimes it is, but it's not always. Do you guys remember the very first night when my friend Audrey had run away from home and she came back to Lincoln? I was so excited to see her. I missed her so much. She's my best friend. And it was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, to tell her she needed to go back. To tell my best friend, you need to leave. You need to go back to your parents. But it was the right thing to do for her. It was for her. And she got really mad. Do you guys remember? She almost left me behind. It almost ruined everything. And that's why it was so hard. But it was the best thing for her. So that's one way that we are to love other people, to do what's best for them. Not always what's best for us, but thinking about them. Another way that we can love other people is by learning to see them, learning to look at them the way that Jesus looks at them. Raise your hand if you think that Jesus died to save you. You're right. Everyone's hand can be up. Everyone in this whole town's hand can be up. Everyone in the whole world's hand can be up to that question. Jesus, when he looks at you, do you think he sees all the things you've done wrong? Do you think he sees the way you treated your mom this morning, or the mean way you talked to your brother? Do you think he just sees all the bad things? When he looks at you, he loves you. He sees someone that he wants to get to know. He sees someone that he wants to do life with. He sees someone that he would give anything for. And he did give everything for. He died on the cross so that we could live with him, walk with him, live eternally with him in heaven. That's amazing. So when we see other people, when we see someone who looks different than us, talks different than us, does things that we don't do, makes choices that are really pretty bad, when we see them, we should see them as Jesus sees them. Someone who he would give anything for. Someone that he wants to get to know and wants to do life with. Even if they don't know who he is yet, we should see them as someone who's worth getting to know, who Jesus died for. So those are ways that we can love people around us, and it's not always easy. So we can serve. Do you guys think I'm telling you to go to school and wash everyone's feet? No, that would be kind of weird. We can serve by doing things for other people, even when it's not what we want to do. We can love by doing what's best for other people and seeing them the way Jesus sees them. And what was the third thing? Do you remember? The third way we can share Jesus' light? We can share about him. There are lots of ways we can share about him, and sometimes it can be a little intimidating. Do you guys remember how nervous I was to do that talent show and sing "He is the Light" in front of my whole school? But Audrey showed me that that is a way that I can share who Jesus is for me. Can anyone think of another way? How can you share who Jesus is with other people? Any ideas? Yes. Take them to church. You can invite them to VBS. Who all is here with a friend? Does anyone have friends here? No one has friends here. Okay, you guys, you do have friends here. So you've got friends here. You can invite other friends. Someone in the last group said that she wanted to go to church, to VBS at someone else's church so they would feel more comfortable at their own church. Those are great ideas. So we can invite them to church. Anything else? How can we share with someone else who Jesus is for us? What did Audrey and I do all week? We prayed. That's a really good one. So when you're at school or at home and someone's having a really hard time, or maybe they're having a really great day, either way, you can say, let me pray with you about that, or let's pray together about that. That's a really good one. What else did Audrey and I do up here all week?
Spend time together.
We spent time together. Yeah, spending time together is a good. We read the Bible, we told stories. Whenever Audrey and I were in a hard time or we didn't know what to do, we had to make a decision or we were scared about something, we looked at the Bible and found stories